What's up, y'all? It's Tony. I can't even say I'm back with another video, but this is the very first episode of my podcast. I'm super excited. I hope you guys enjoy this very first episode. I hope you guys get a lot out of it. Let me know how y'all's day is going. I know mine is going great right now. I hope you guys stacked multiple wins this week. I know I did. One thing that I accomplished this week is every single one of my sets, I did one more rep, if that makes any sense. Ed Milet, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he has this philosophy that every time you're gonna do something, do just one more, and sort of build on that. So I was proud of myself that I achieved that this week. So what are we going to be talking about today? Today's topic of discussion is waiting for the right time to do something, right? And what does this mean? What does it mean to wait for the right time? So basically, waiting for the right time is before, so say you set a goal, right? I can come up with an example better than I can come up with a definition. Say that you set a certain goal, right? And you're super excited about this goal, but you have to wait until this happens or that happens in order to start on that goal. And obviously this affects your progress because you never get started. And that's the biggest issue, is saying that you want something or saying that you want to do something and never starting it, right? So a couple examples could be like waiting until you have healthy food, or an abundant amount of gym clothes before you start going to the gym. Waiting to act as a CEO before you become a CEO. I know that Bedros Keuilian, he has this podcast that I like to watch that he says start acting as a CEO first and then the rest will come. Even something simply as going to talk to somebody across the room that you find attractive, right? It can be something as simple as that. So a couple examples for me, and this is where I said, I'll be talking about my experiences and kind of how it affected me. But okay, so I'm going to go with a couple examples. First one being the nutrition business. If you don't know me already, I've been I've been certified to be a nutrition coach for about 2 years now, right? And I have kept on telling myself that I'm going to start a nutrition business, but in the back of my head, I'm waiting for the right time to do it. I'm waiting until I know everything. I'm waiting until everything is perfect, which is not a good way to go, right? You're not supposed to wait until everything's perfect to start on what you want to do. Going to the gym. Not too long ago, I did go through a certain period of my life where I had lost myself, and I wasn't sure the gym would help me find it, right? And with that being said, I wanted to wait until I had healthy food to go to the gym. I wanted to wait until my money was right to go to the gym, because I felt like I wouldn't feel right. But then one day I just started to go, and then everything kind of just falls in line after that. Even something as simple as starting this podcast, right? Speaking of this podcast, obviously I don't have no mic. I'm using my iPhone as a camera. I ain't got no special room for it. Hell, I'm in my apartment's entertainment room right now. So and also I have no special guests either yet. I mean, obviously, it'll come a time where that will happen, but I had to make the decision that I'm not going to wait until I have those things in order to start doing what I wanted to do. The biggest thing is, I decided to turn one day into day one, and that's the biggest thing, and it's so simple that anybody could do it. You could do it, right? All you have to do really is, take that risk. And it really comes down to, trusting yourself and trusting that it's going to work. just for me, I guess, I guess for you guys, think about how your life will play out if you decide to finally take that risk, to finally ask that person out, to finally start that business, to finally start going to the gym to lose that 50 pounds that you've been wanting to do, to finally start drinking water, to finally start putting yourself first. There's so many things that you can finally start doing if you just turn one day into day one and don't wait until everything is perfect. You think about that, and then you think about the opposite. Think about how your life would be if you don't do those things that you keep on telling yourself that you want to do. I came up with this example. Now imagine this, right? Imagine you die, and it's your funeral, right? At your funeral, your family is surrounding you. But after that funeral, the only thing that's going to surround you is the ghosts of regret, right? You're going to have one ghost. You're going to have a bunch of different ghosts asking you why you didn't act upon that thing that you were destined to do, or that you were supposed to do, that you needed to do, but you didn't do it. So they're going to be surrounding you at your grave, screaming in your face, why didn't you act on me? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I know me personally, I don't want to go through that, I don't want to put myself through that anymore, telling myself that I'm going to do something and waiting to do it. It's one of the worst ways to live. I can say that for sure. With this sort of mindset, waiting to do something, you turn into a woulda, coulda, shoulda person. And you should never be a woulda, coulda, shoulda person. For me, there's many things in my life that I tell myself I should have done it this way, or I could have done this. I should have started this when that opportunity arose itself. Opportunities will pop up in your life, and it's up to you to say yes or no. Some of them might not be as obvious as others, but you say yes or no to those opportunities and get started. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've definitely been one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda people. I can definitely say for some things I still kind of am, but obviously I'm working on it. Hence this podcast, not waiting on this anymore. And another thing is, like, imagine this scenario. Imagine you're in the car, right? You're in the car for 5 hours and your radio's broken. So you have to listen to the same song over and over again, back to back to back to back to back to back. I'm sure you get annoyed, right? Now imagine this. Imagine that same radio is playing back what you say to yourself what you're going to do. So basically, imagine you telling yourself over and over and over and over and over again, back to back to back to back, the things that you want to do that you still have not acted on yet. I'm sure you get annoyed with that, right? And that's just another reason why you need to get started on these things that you say you want to get started on, or that you want to do. Don't be a broken radio, and just do the things that you know that you want to do and the things that you need to do. It's like this, okay? So this is going to be for the people that have kids, or either even don't have kids, right? But for the people that have kids, do you want your kids to live with regret? Do you want your kids to, one day get older and keep on wallowing in like what they want to do, what they could have did, what they should have did, what they would have did in this certain scenario? Or do you want them to attack everything that they're supposed to be attacking? I'm sure the answer is you want them to be attacking what they're supposed to be attacking, right? So with that being said, you need to lead by example. You need to be the leader in your family or whatever it is. And for the people that don't have kids, you need to start practicing that sort of discipline right now, for the day that when you have kids, they see that example and they live by it. Does that make any sense? I hope it makes sense. And that's just gonna trickle down the generations after generations. And I'm sure that you want the rest of your family to sort of live in that same spirit. So how can you turn one day into day one? If you want to set a goal for yourself, if it's trying to lose 50 pounds, or start going to the gym, if it's you want to start a business or something of that sort, make a list of those things that you want to do or that you need to do in order to get to that goal, and then just spend 5 minutes on those things. And then once you start to feel productive and you get that productivity going in your head, you'll start to want to do more. Maybe not in that moment, or even maybe in that moment. But if you don't want to keep going in that moment, you just stacked one win right there. You actually started doing what you said that you were going to do. So the next day, you just do that same thing again. And then it starts to release dopamine. You start to feel good about the things that you're doing. And that's the way that you keep on going. And you stay consistent, which is something that we're going to talk about in the near future. For something maybe as simple as getting out of bed, count down from 3, kick one leg out. The same thing could be said for talking to new people. It doesn't even have to be somebody that you find attractive. It could be somebody that, you just need to connect with, right? Count down from 3, 2, 1, go. And just start talking. Something as simple as that. For something just as simple as making a decision, just be decisive. And if it doesn't work, all you have to do is course correct. But the biggest thing here is starting with the small things. Because if you start with things that are too large, that are too much, you're probably not going to stick to it. So start with the small things and work on getting consistent with those before you build onto the bigger things. And that's the way that you can become successful with, making more decisions. And once you learn how to start those small things, the next thing, like I said, you need to learn is consistency. So you can keep on doing it day in and day out and never give up, essentially, which is what we're going to be talking about next week. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this first episode. I know I enjoyed, talking about this stuff. I got like a little guideline of how I wanted this episode to lay out, and I started going off on little tangents about other things that I didn't even write down or type up. So I'm super excited to talk about these subjects, and I hope that you guys find value in it and get something out of it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said before, and multiple times over and over again. And I'll see you guys next week. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'll be active on there as well. And like I said, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.